Never before in human history have so many works of art been produced, and never before has the result been so few real experiences of art. Today, a work of art is all pervasive as the decisions being made by the government, cultural ministries, mayors. It is out in the streets in the shape of a performance, sculpture, art intervention, music, as a part of spectacle. It is an integral part of the media universe. This has often solely to do with beauty as a not necessarily essential part of the work of art. Art has dissolved in the aesthetic ether, notes even showing his work art in this state. Amongst others, Boris Groys writes, in our own era, it is the mass media that dictates aesthetic norms. The general public now draws its notion of art from advertising, MTV, video games, and Hollywood blockbusters. Technical reproducibility of works of art, whose effect has been announced by the United, has not only brought on plurality and works with no aura, but also a loss of sensibility and new kind of primitivism, as highlighted by Arnold Gehlen in his work with an indicative title, The Soul in the Age of Technology. The internet is bringing with new ideas of new merging and the reconstruction of traditional art. The democratization owning one's own portrait, formerly brought about by photography, as compared to painting, is infinitely small compared to the democratization of the opportunity to make art as brought on by video, multimedia, new media, computer programs, and the internet. In the words of Rob Shields, they tear down the boundaries between the real and virtual, body and technology, us and the characters we portray. The web serves as a true social medium which connects and integrates its users, like a language, yet another medium. It speaks the speaker himself, even with the speaker speaking the language. Do we recognize the changes in the human being and its relationship towards art produced by the media of multiplication and mass communication? Every age has been dominated by a certain type of art, and everyone can agree about this as a fact relatively easily. But why has a certain type of art dominated a particular age? This is something to be discussed, and by all indications, the answers will depend on the approach. Why was Duchamp Fontaine so special, and why did it leave such a deep mark in the history of art as well as in everyday life? Is a question that art theory, according to Dante, will not answer. The massive scale of mass media multiplication has robbed traditional art of its soul. Has it given it something in return? Media philosophy, I think, transcending the level of the theories of individual media, must answer the question of the relationship between the essence of art as such and the contemporary mass media mediation. In other words, the question of the fate of art in the age of new media and the new media and artistic literacy.
je tok. Šarne duge, šarnog tigra, bomboskok. Činio se život, ma kako tajnovit, za život nam svoj valja se izborit.
It was easy for the illiterate to unite faith, hope, ritual, voice, movement, air, sky, and earth to dance. The dance that dominated the pre-literate age has been preserved and continues to develop as an art form even today. But what is unified to dance today? What did dance become a part of? What do the changes suggest? It is virtually impossible to reduce dance to that pertaining to dance anymore. Reducing dance to movement on stage with no influence of performance is akin to an attempt to present film through narration. Dance is but one of the foundations to the play of new media. The body is participant in the illusion in which the body itself is reduced to an illusion. Traditional forms of dance exist to be transcended, built upon, to use their innovation to open up new areas of interest in the defamiliarization of art by human civilization. A man of letters is much more practical than a dancer. He will not only enjoy the diversity of dance figures, of human bodies, different combinations of rhythms, melodies, voice, light, darkness, and so on and so on. Singing will outlast the same string and monotonous rhythm. As a form of remembering, storing, safekeeping, and transmitting cultural patterns, singing will continue to exist even after culture, or rather technology, has found more efficient ways of storing information, educational messages, and worldviews. While singing, poems, the man will follow the line suggested to him by art. The art of beautiful poetic word is older than poems. Somewhere in the rhythm, word order, in the first poet tested the magic of what which was sung as a type of speech that did more than speech itself and which contained more than speech alone. The apple offered to Adam by Eve is the first known biblical mediator between two people. The fruit of the tree of knowledge is actually language, script. The apple is a metaphor for the alphabet. There is no knowledge without the medium of language. The fruit of the tree of knowledge is the awareness and the word which unlock the man's mediated relationship towards nature and the universe. Divine unity is replaced by attempts to establish a new experience, mediated by language. Today, we plant virtual trees in search of non-linguistic languages and the pathways towards the immediate and non-mediated. The more impossible to task, the more essential the pursuit of such a form of self-understanding and self-experience of the world. The two-dimensional portraits of kings, their retinue, rich feudal lords and landowners, require large empty walls and need to distance oneself from the rest of the world through the possession of prestigious artifacts, as well as relying on the discovery of the camera obscura and their surrounding perspective. The art of new media questions multiplication, plurality. It plays the game which was brought into the world by photography and which sets new rules for the world of today. Dadaist allusions of the game of multiplication now reach a dimension of drawing some serious attention to the phenomenon of multiplying people, goals, photographs, approaches, ideologies, media and forms of manipulation. Whilst playing with multiplication, the art of new media opens up an opportunity for us to understand the process that defines us in an essential way today. Ours is culture of imitation. Nietzsche claims the medium is the message and the message is the medium. The power of media has also been confirmed by Sloterdijk through, amongst others, the following stance. With the media form of hero worship, we step into an effective regime of developed narcissism of the masses, to which he later added, without an insight into these narco-political alliances, the spiritual massacres and media wars of the 20th century forever remain mere traditional turbulences aside to the level of inconceivable by the provincial investigation. Opera, as the form of traditional art, comes at the end of the process of searching for the single art from that can offer enjoyment to the refined soul story, acting, music, text, dance, masks, lights, design, colors, fashion, and all in a dramaturgically conceived game and all in one place, all live and without delay. Only new dimension could offer more art forms in one place. This dimension arrived in electrical and electronic, and later in digital forms of homologation between virtual worlds. We see the world as mediated by the media. Our eye is the result of the historical progression of viewing methods, influences of various technologies, biological capabilities, and the collective human memory. In 1985, Zagreb witnessed the so-called murderous demonstration. A group of some 30 students walked around the city center, accompanied by the police, with banners that said nothing. The speakers at the main square seemed to wave their arms about. Everything went according to the government wishes, peaceful and with no incident. But the provocative, artistic, critical, and uncompromising part followed this very evening when Radio 101 used its show, Intervention 85, to allow its listeners to spend 4 hours guessing what or whom those people had protested against. Citizens realized they got a chance to speak, so they spoke. The only thing that the authorities could do was to cancel the show, but only the next day. What once were networks of people is nowadays displayed in the forms of technological templates of connecting people. In a similar way, opera's unification of art is today taken over by different technical dimensions. The multimedia play with digital shapes has opened up new field of potential collaboration between certain arts, artistic forms, artists, and more amateurs. Deeply immersed in new technology. A new synergy was therefore only possible in the dimension of new technology. The reflection of art could manage relatively well as long as the whole thing was live and in one place. When the requirements of Aristotle poetics were abandoned, reflection found itself at a crossroad. How would it continue to interpret the authentically of an artwork, art audience, communication channels, experience and reproducibility? The science of beauty and the human experience of beauty all of a sudden found itself facing issues unimaginable at the time of shaping the aesthetics as a discipline. Thank you very much.